Back to the channel. So today we're going to be learning a little bit about the Bitcoin power law. A lot of people don't really know what the Bitcoin power law is, and to be in all honesty, it's quite odd that a lot of people don't know what it is. Like, a lot of newer people who come to cryptocurrency don't actually know what the Bitcoin power law is yet, and it's something to be aware of. It doesn't provide absolute guarantee of it will hit those prices, but it is something still to be aware of. So I'm going to go through what it is first, and then afterwards I'll explain it. But don't rely heavily on this. This is just something to know for educational purposes, and maybe entertainment purposes. Do not use this as financial advice. Right. So the Bitcoin power law can be used to calculate the estimated price of Bitcoin, and also the lowest price of Bitcoin on a particular day. It's calculated by using this over here. So you've got estimated price. Estimated price is the price you're obviously calculating. A is the constant that we use, so we're using 10 to the power of minus 17. And then days from Genesis block, so that'll be however many days it is away from the Genesis block, which is let's say it might be 5,400 currently. I'm not 100% sure how many days it is. And then N is a 5.8, which is another constant. And that's how you calculate the estimated price on the day. Now, we live in a day and age of technology, so we're not going to do it by hand because that's going to take ages, and I'm not going to do it like that because that'd be stupid. So what we are going to do, we're going to go to a website. All rights are reserved to these websites. I'm just using them for, explaining it, but you can obviously just go on here. I am not taking credit for making this website, it's not my website. Right, so you've got, for today, the fair price is $63,696. The bottom price, which is supposed to be the price that Bitcoin should never go below. And then you've got the current price, which we're 10% overvalued. So the fair price is supposed to predict somewhere close to where the price should be at, compared to where we actually are at. Obviously, we're 10% overvalued. So it's a good indicator to see if we're overvalued or if we're undervalued. The bottom price is the lowest price that Bitcoin should ever go. The thing is, a lot of people say this is quite accurate. Now, the bottom price previously has predicted bottoms on the chart for most periods, and we'll go to Bitcoin now. We can go look at our bottoms on the chart. So we go on the monthly chart. We're not going to get many bottoms on this chart, but if we have a decent look around. Over here, it did predict this bottom as well. This was correct. It did not go below the minimum price, the bottom price. This bottom over here, if we go on the weekly chart, this bottom over here, this was the COVID dump. It did not predict this bottom, it actually went below it. And this is something to be aware of, because I've seen a lot of people claim that it's quite accurate and it's never gone below the Bitcoin bottom price. This is something to be aware of. It might be a good indication to say, okay, maybe Bitcoin's is currently at 70,000. Let's say if we start dumping now, we might go down to 40,000. It might be a good indication to say, okay, maybe 40,000 isn't the bottom, we're going to go a bit lower. It's a good way to decide maybe, okay, we might be going a bit lower, we might heed and wait a bit more. But don't rely on this 100%, because if you, let's say you put a position in, and your bottom price is exactly the bottom price, so your liquidation price is exactly the bottom price, you're thinking you're not going to get liquidated. That can still happen, you've got to be very wary of that. These aren't 100% reliable. So I'm showing you an example where it didn't work. Over here, it didn't actually apply to what it should have been. It actually went below the bottom price. So here's something to be aware of. It is a good thing to know, to somewhat predict whether you're undervalued or overvalued. It's not accurate in any way, and I do not recommend using it like that. But it's just something that I don't think many people actually know about, which is quite odd. So I thought I'd make a quick short video on that. With regards to the power law, this is where it gets interesting. This is purely entertainment purposes. This is not financial advice. Do not buy Bitcoin because of this. This is just entertainment purposes. If you actually go on here, right, and we select a year. If we go, so let's say 2024 is a mid-year, 2025 is the top, 2029 is the top, let's say, and then 2033, 2027 is a top, 2041 is going to be a top, let's say, okay? let's say 2041 is going to be a top. If we actually have a look, right, so that's what, 17 years from now. Tops are usually, I don't know, November. We'll go November 30th for the sake of it. This predicts that the bottom price will be $2,300,000. Could that be accurate? It might be. It might not be. It's been fairly accurate from since it has been made. However, with one time where it hasn't been accurate. So if you take, there's been 4 halvings, give or take. It's been accurate by 25%. I mean, no, it's been accurate by 75% and 25% wrong if there's 4 halvings. Because Bitcoin was made originally in 2006, but it was actually went public in 2008 or 2009, if I remember correctly. And from halvings, we had a halving in 2020. We're gonna have a halving in 2024. We're gonna have a halving in 2016 and then 2012. So if we say there's 4 halvings and it's been fairly accurate for 3 of those out of 4 of those, that means it's got a 75% success rate currently. Now, you can argue it was fairly accurate, but let's see, the previous time that we did go below it, which was over here, this was a Black Swan event where we went below the Bitcoin bottom. So it has some indication to predict somewhere close to the bottom, which is something to be aware of. I wouldn't use this for that sake, but it's something just to be like understanding of. The main reason why I made this video is because not many people know about the Bitcoin power law. There isn't really much more to talk about it. Don't use it in the sense of trying to predict your positions or when to buy, when to sell. Because obviously, yes, currently we are 10% oversold. I mean, overbought. That means, obviously, yeah, we are overvalued. But that doesn't mean you should, sell and then wait for a lower price. Because that might not happen. That is something to be aware of. You can read some information on here. It does explain what it is. It's more of an accurate number on here. I use more rounded numbers. So you can calculate the fair price, the bottom price, and then you can learn some extras over here. Just some credit to this website. It's called bitcoinfairprice.com if anybody wants to take a look and just mess about with it. Right, if we do something interesting here, right? If I scroll like somewhat absurd downwards, right? So if we, this is just for quick maths, I'm going to go for 3141, which is 1,027 years from now. It apparently estimates that the Bitcoin price would be this number. Now, this is an absurdly large number. That's million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. That's 4.9 quadrillion. And the bottom price being $2 quadrillion. How accurate can this actually be? Because this just constantly goes on. Now, I am going to make a video on the Bitcoin halving and when, obviously, all the Bitcoin will be mined. Now, this is where it gets interesting. If we go to when the Bitcoin will be fully mined, which would be 2140, some people estimate, for the sake of it, 2141 is the top, so we're going to go for 2141. It estimates that the Bitcoin price will be about 8 billion at the bare minimum, and it should be 19 billion. Is this accurate realistically? Probably not. And this is exactly why I say you shouldn't rely on this. It's a good indication to see how it works while it still works, but it's not something that you should rely on at all. The main reason why I've made this video is so people can actually have a bit of a look at what it is. Because I don't think many people actually knew what the Bitcoin power law was. But it's something to be, wary of. Because I don't think many people know of it. Because a lot of newer people coming to crypto don't really know what the Bitcoin power law is. And it has worked so far, but something that works may not work forever, so that's something you need to be wary of. It might work a couple of times, and we've already found one time it's gone wrong. You could argue that it's technically completely accurate for the bottom price, purely because of the fact that there was one off, and that was a Black Swan event because of COVID. But still, it's not something that should be used in that sense, because I know the people who do know what it is seem to heavily rely on it. When I first learned about it, I found out that a lot of people do actually quite heavily rely on this, and you shouldn't heavily rely on this, because the bottom price won't always be accurate, neither will the fair price be accurate. Yeah, you can predict the bottom, it might not go below, but it's not always going to be 100% accurate. So that is something to be wary of. On our Bitcoin chart, what is this? It keeps trying to get me to pay. If we get enough views, I'll pay for Trading View Premium, whatever it's called. Can't afford it right now. It's actually so expensive. It's actually I can't remember how much they charge, but they charge quite a bit for it. It allows you to like put more indicators on and like see further back in the chart, or see more bars in the chart, or something like that as well. So you can go like on the 5 minute, for example, and like you can see further back than what you could usually. Right, another thing. So if we take this was a bottom prior to halving. This was our most recent bottom, so it predicted this fairly well. It didn't predict this. The interesting thing is here, if you actually take a look at this chart, and I'll do this in the halving video, but usually prior to halving, we do have a bit of a dip. This was our dip, but this was a black swan event. Normally, we have a dip of about 20%. We don't really tend to have more than a 20% dip. So, to some extent, arguably the Bitcoin bottom price is technically valid in this sense, but previously it wasn't. So it's something to know, and just for the sake of educational purposes, but do not use it as financial advice because it will not help you in that sense. Right, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe. We actually gained quite a few subscribers yesterday. I was quite happy about that. So thank you to everybody in the Crow Reddit that subscribed. I appreciate that a lot. There'll be more videos. If anybody wants any particular video recommendations, please put them in the chat. It could be anything. I've been doing crypto for quite a long time now, so it could be anything at all that's crypto related. It could be anything from any market analysis to, I don't know, anything in particular you want to learn. I'm going to do a video after this one, like straight after this one, and post it probably both at the same time about the Bitcoin halving. So I know most people know about it, but not everybody knows about it. But yeah, something to learn. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.